Hi everyone, my name's Nathan Hearn. Welcome to the S5000 Tech Talk, brought to you by Valvoline. So we'll start off with Aerodynamics. Obviously the first part of the car is front wing. These things built and designed in-house here at GRM. And you know, they're made for minimal downforce, but on a bit of a off-token aspect, we're not allowed to know what downforce this thing produces. So we're sort of running a bit blind here with the front wings. We do have a series of different adjustments on the front we can do, just the top plane of the wing. So the base plate, the main plate, is fixed. We can't adjust that. Nose cone can't adjust. We can only adjust this top winglet here. And just how much we're going to use. These things are pretty sensitive to front downforce as well. If you do damage your front wing or your nose cone, you're in a lot of trouble for the race. Although they don't produce much downforce, they're still downforce dependent the front wings, so you'll find yourself fighting the front end the whole race and cooking the front tyres whilst you're at it. So come to the mid part of the car for downforce and aerodynamics, floor tray and side pods. So side pod mainly used for cooling. You'll see actually inside the side pod there's a little bulge inside of it. And what that is to disturb the air. So completely opposite of what you want on the outside of the car. Inside of it you want as much turbulence as possible. So all this curving and everything like that is shaped to create as much air turbulence as possible. So that can grab all the heat, all the heat and drag it out with it out the back of the radiator. So there's a lot of stuff going on with these cars that you don't really get to see. Obviously they're such a high performance race car. We're doing such high speeds and a lot of racing. That they need that type of cooling system to suck all the hot air out and keep the cars cool and running as efficiently as possible. For the floor trays to produce downforce, we run a lot of rake in cars. So you see the F1, a lot of rake. And that is to try and slow the air down at the back of the floor pan and sort of suck the car down and give it that bit of a ground effect. So what it does is the smaller the gap at the start, and there's a bigger gap at the end. So to try and create that air pressure, the car will suck down to try and level out the floor pan. So here at the rear wing, as you'll see, massive end plate in these things. The end plate has a lot of jobs as well. So when a car does get sideways, the end plate sort of acts like a bit of a wall in the wind and sort of fights the rear back across into a straight line. As well as that, also keeps turbulent air from escaping on the side, which produces more downforce for the actual wing plates itself. So for the adjustments, much the same as the front wing. The main plate cannot move. You won't be able to move that at all. But for the top plate, you can actually adjust this as a seesaw effect type thing. So you can move this straight up or straight down like that. So for fast tracks like Phillip Island, we'll try and get this as low as possible before we lose the rear. But they are a very finicky car to adjust. As I said before, we haven't got very much downforce. So downforce we have to look after. But as every engineer will say, they always try and take off as much downforce as they can to reduce the amount of drag down the straight. So it's much of a driver versus engineer debate, the wings at all times, but yeah, they're a big wing for what they are. And you'll see here as well, the rear wing is actually very curved. So in the middle it dips up and on either side dips down. This is also to control where the air flows. So an engineer's job, and when they design these cars, is just to control where the air flows, as that produces most downforce and keeps the downforce efficient. So you'll see for the rear wing, obviously it's curved outwards, pushes it against the end plate here, so the wind's sort of doing like a fight effect against itself, and it stops all the turbulence as well from all the wing adjustments in the middle. So it sort of pushes away from them, keeps the end plate working at all times, and produces the most downforce possible without increasing drag.